Hello. Thank you for tuning in to my channel, Truth Be Told. Today we're going to talk about a new subject, and it is just getting old. I started thinking about it is the fact that they really don't have, or somebody I should say should have came out with a book, a dummy book for getting old. Because there were a lot of things that I just did not expect or took for granted that it wasn't going to happen to me. As we get older, then you turn around and when you're younger, you're doing everything. I remember I was swimming, I was canoeing, I was boating, I was fishing, I was hiking. I was doing all kinds of things. And, when I hear older people talk about getting old and their bones aching and everything else, I just thought it wasn't going to apply to me. I thought they were talking about other people. I thought that as long as I continue working out and doing some things that I would be okay. I was sadly mistaken. And so I started looking at the fact, I wish someone had came out with a dummy book for getting old like they do for computers and everything else. Because maybe the reality of what was getting ready to happen to my body or the changes that were going to take place, that I would have been expecting them a little bit better than what I did. So I started making a list of some of the things. And the first thing I want to talk about is the gray hairs. Man, as you can see, I do have gray hair. I don't care how much dye I use, Clairol, any of the other ones, it doesn't matter. It seems like that the resilience for your gray hair does not let the dye stay on there for any length of time. Before, when I used to dye my hair when I was younger, it could stay like that for days. It could be, for a couple of months or so, the dye would stay in place. Now, when I dye my hair, I'll be lucky if it stays in place 3 or 4 days. The gray is starting to come out and everything else as if you didn't do anything. So tops every month, you would almost have to gray your hair or dye your hair. And gray hair is very stubborn. So it just seems like it takes a whole lot of applications to make it take place. But that was one of the problems. But I guess the other thing I looked at is gray hair is everywhere on your body. I mean, on your legs, on your arms, in your nose, in your ears. I was so surprised to see the gray hair in my nose. And probably now I have probably no hairs up in my nose because I spend my time just plucking them out all the time. But it's the same as the gray hairs around your chin. I find that if I didn't pluck them on a daily basis and just let them grow, I probably would have a mustache or beard. So it's so interesting that the one area I find that my hair is not graying, well, of course, down your private area, it definitely grays. So wish somebody would invent a dye that we can dye it so we're not seeing it all the time. But I was surprised that the hair up under my arm, the pits do not gray at all. So that threw me for a loop as why they hadn't grayed. But I'm not going to complain right now because they're not gray. The other area I looked at is our vision. It's very interesting how, as we get older, we can't see nothing. You need your glasses for reading, you need your glasses for seeing TV, you need your glasses for driving, you need your glasses for everything you can think of. And that's something I didn't expect because, I had pretty good vision. Now, of course, I have 20/20 vision. And that's only because of an eye operation where they replaced my reflective lenses. So my eyes are 20/20 vision, but that wasn't because it was designed that way. It's because I had lost my vision and they had to save my eyesight as soon as possible. And that was some years ago. But all my friends are, let me get my reading glasses, girl, so I can see what you're talking about. Let me get my reading glasses so I can drive and everything. And I find that as we get older, after a certain time period, when the sun goes down, we are not driving. And if you are, you're not seeing very well. But I don't even have to wait for the sun to go down sometimes for me not to see very well. Because I find myself when I'm driving, especially when you have to make a turn around a corner, I misjudge it. So next thing you know, I'm on the curb or doing some other things. So that's very interesting. But vision is another thing I wish they had have talked about to us and let us know you're going to need glasses all the dang time. The other thing I want to talk about is our aching bones. Man, they do ache. And as much as I exercise, I'm going to continue exercising. I'm not going to stop exercising. They still do ache. They still do ache. I use Biofree, Bengay, heating pads, and everything else, and they still ache. But I also realize that if I turned around and let it go, then it would ache worse. So I have to jump into the pain. Regardless, I jump in the pain and keep exercising, keep trying to move my legs or to have some movement to keep yourself going. But I wish they had talked about it. It's because I would have thought I'm so healthy, I'm everything else. When I'm younger, I know I'm not going to have that problem that I hear my mother and father talking about, but I do have that problem. Another thing is our hearing. Man, I used to have bionic ears, I think. I could hear everything. Now, I can barely hear anything. I listened to my granddaughter talking at Thanksgiving, and I couldn't understand one thing that girl was saying. I couldn't understand nothing that girl was saying. And she was talking directly in my face. And I'm sitting up there like, am I having a hearing problem that I can't hear this girl? Or is she just not talking loud enough? So you find that we have to talk louder. People have to talk louder so we can hear what they're talking about. It's really funny though, but it isn't funny because then you have several people that need hearing aids. And loud music, loud whatever, that's probably the only time I can hear something when it is loud. But I wish they had told me, one day your hearing may go off and you may need a hearing aid so you could hear what's going on. So regularly go to the doctor and let them check your hearing to make sure your ear canal is cleaned out or there's nothing up in there because that can cause you problems. Another thing that I want to talk about is menopause. Man, they should have said something about menopause. I thought that was going to stop at a certain age, but I find that menopause just wants to keep going, keep going, keep going. The hot night sweats, the day sweats, the whatever. I'm almost 70 and I'm still having menopause. So I've had menopause for now almost 10, 15 years and I'm still having it. I was hoping at a certain point in time it would stop, but I don't have the day sweats. How all of a sudden I could be talking to my friends and you could see the sweat come across their face and then fanning and doing everything else. I wish they had prepared us more for it to let you know this is going to happen. Your hormones are going to change and you're going to have menopause. But I was told that it would stop at a certain point, and here in my age, it's still going. So that's extremely disappointing. But I think my biggest thing that I want to talk about is remembering things. They could have given me a dummy book for remembering things because I don't remember things. And I'll put something down, come back, don't remember where I put it at. I have several things right now. I don't even want to let my family or nobody know about it, that I lock something up and don't know where the key is at. So I call myself putting it in a safe place, but then you can't remember the safe place that you put it in. It's really funny though, but it's true in terms of of remembering things. So I try to have a notepad, one of those little spiral notebooks that you get from Dollar Tree. I try to have that, especially when I'm talking on the phone, different conversations. I always are making notes of what's going on. And need be, I haven't got to the point of having sticky notes all over the place, but I'm probably going to get to the point of having sticky notes all over the place trying to remember things. So I wish somebody had just kind of prepared us for it, because it is something to deal with. It can be depressing. Knowing some of those things I just talked about could be very depressing. But at the same time, we have to understand that we're getting up in age. So gracefully we have to jump into our age. Gracefully we have to understand that nobody gave us a dummy book. Nobody gave us any kind of clue. And the clues they did give did not explain exactly all that was going on. So I hope that helps, that you're not by yourself. I'm there too. I'm dealing with these things on a daily basis as well. And I wish I had probably written a dummy book to let people know this is what happens when you get a certain age. Get ready to expect it. Don't think everything's going to be at the high heels and looking good and everything else. And, you know, because later on you're going to pay for that stuff. And some of my friends are paying for that. They wore those 3, 4, 5-inch heels and their feet are killing them right now that they're in flats. So, you know, it's all right to age. We know we're going to age. Let's just do it gracefully and realize that some of these things is happening to all of us. It's not cool, but it is part of life. Truth be told. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye. Peace out.